How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your new moon horoscope for Virgo. Whoop whoop. All right. So Virgo, this new moon is happening on Wednesday, November 7th in Scorpio. It's a new moon in Scorpio, I should probably say that. And it's happening at about 15 degrees. So this new moon is happening in your third house, which is quite an interesting house to be having so much going on in. We've had Jupiter going through Scorpio for this past year. We've had Venus retrograding in Scorpio. She's now back in Libra, and she will be moving forward into, to keep going through Scorpio. Either way, with Jupiter being in Scorpio for this, past year, we've had Jupiter wanting to bring light to stuff. Jupiter wants to expand things. Jupiter wants to bring things up. And Scorpio is all about bringing things down. And Scorpio is kind of having to deal more with emotions, with raw things, with things that are kind of scary at times. And with Jupiter being through Scorpio, it's been bringing a lot of this up. It's been bringing a lot of this to your awareness. This is Jupiter, where it's not so much Mercury, where Mercury wants to talk, communicate, think in a certain way. Jupiter wants to believe a certain way. Jupiter wants to have perspective on things. And this is interesting because this is in your third house. And your third house has a lot to do with, your siblings, your immediate environment, short distance travel, similar to that. However, the third house is also really how you utilize yourself and what you have. It's kind of like, you may have one tool that fixes everything, or all the tools that can, but you can only fix one thing. The third house being about really kind of applying yourself, kind of applying what you have, what you know, being able to be of service somehow. Having Jupiter being through there, you've really learned a lot about what it is that you can kind of accomplish, what it is that you can kind of do. It's kind of bringing up a lot of problems in this area of like, okay, how do I go about certain situations? What I believe about this certain situation that could look raw, could look ugly, and how do I make the best of it? With Venus being in Scorpio and it's being retrograde, you're really shifting your value and where you've applied this, and where you've really, not only necessarily where you applied this, but really understanding why you want to apply yourself in this way and what direction you really want to take yourself. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because this new moon is going to be kind of like a fresh rinse off after going through the mud. And this new moon the new moon is kind of always focusing on whatever sign that it's in. And with a new moon, we're talking about restarting energy, refreshing energy, purifying, cleaning out. And as this is happening in Scorpio, where we are talking about more of the messier stuff, more of the gunkier stuff, more of the things that give us a little bit more issues. This is happening in your third house, where it's kind of like, okay, now that you've had Jupiter go through there, you've been understanding and seeing more of like what you can possibly apply yourself with. And you've had Venus retrograde, where it's been kind of shifting your focus and shifting your value on where to place that action with. This new moon is giving you the opportunity to kind of cleanse out the energy that you've experienced, kind of reevaluate everything, take a deep breath in, and really see where you want to move forward to. This new moon in Scorpio is kind of giving you guys a better idea of where to really pursue yourself, and where you want to be clear with your actions, where you want to be clear with, people in your immediate environment. This can deal with your siblings. This can deal with even short distance travel. This new moon is just really wanting you guys to take a step back, really look at what have you learned about applying yourself, what have you learned about doing what you can do. And with Venus being in Scorpio, we're really focusing on where to place that value, what means what to you. This new moon is kind of like, all right, you've experienced this, you've seen things in this light, and now you've also reshifted your focus. You've placed more value and emphasis into one perspective and to one scope rather than the other. This new moon is committing to that. This new moon is wanting you to like take in a moment and realize the decisions that you've made, realize the decisions that you want to take on, and giving you the energy, that fresh breath, that, like I said, that rinse off, to be able to keep moving forward. And this new moon isn't going to be the biggest, craziest thing for you guys. Luckily for you, the pressure's been kind of off. Once Jupiter goes into Sagittarius and better things start happening at home, and you start to feel a little bit more centered in yourself, or maybe something good happens to your parents, either way, the focus isn't necessarily so much on big, huge things. The third house is a cadent house, and that means it's not necessarily about, it's not fixated, it's not starting anything, it's changing, it's transmuting into something. And so with this new moon happening in the third house, really look at how you can focus your scope, how you can really apply it and actually applying yourself in the way that you want to see it. So like, you know, Scorpio is about one vision, one goal, holding on to it with all types of wrath. And this new moon is kind of giving you that, not only that feeling, that emotion, but that drive to make the decision to go for it and to execute, to take on that stuff, to engage with that. And that's kind of what this new moon's about. So I hope you guys enjoy this new moon. I hope you guys get really clear about what it is that you want to pursue. And I'll be seeing you guys for the next video.